Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. Today we're back working around the patio and the swimming pool area. Yesterday I worked on getting some more of the patio bricks out of the way, cleaning up brush and debris off of another section of patio that we're going to begin to tackle here shortly. But we wanted to jump back into the pool here, literally and figuratively, and work a little bit more on it. Reason being is that we've got to get the last little bit of water out of the deep end and the sludge and the muck and everything out of the deep end. Try to expose the main drain and get the main drain open so that we can control the buildup of water. Every time it rains now, the pool is slowly starting to fill back up again, and it's getting to be pretty deep again in the deep end. So I've got my trash pump, 2-inch trash pump that I'm going to be taking actually down into the pool this time rather than trying to pump from up on the deck down into the deep end. We're actually going to go down into the shallow end, put the pump there. And then part of the problem we were having last time when we were using the pump is that the strainer basket on the end of it was getting clogged up with leaves and salamanders and everything else you possibly imagine in the bottom of that thing. So every once in a while we'd have to take a break, free the salamanders, and ungunk the intake there. So today I've actually made a pre-filter for the intake out of an old pool chemical bucket. It's one that we had sitting around, so we weren't using it for anything anyways, no handle on it, so made good use out of it by making a pre-filter. Took it, drilled a bunch of holes in it with my drill, and have wired it to the end. So now we've got a pre-filter that'll filter out most of the big junk, and then we've got the actual strainer basket on the end of the hose. Hopefully that'll allow it to, with more surface area, allow it to continue to suck water without getting so gunked up. The holes are smaller too, so we should have less issues with sucking aquatic life into it as well. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So here's the pool chemical bucket. It's like a 3-gallon pail, and you can see what I've done. I've drilled a bunch of 5/16 holes all the way around it. Inside is the actual strainer basket for the 2-inch intake hose, and that thing was plugging up. It's got similarly sized holes, but it was so small that that stuff was getting plugged up there. So now we've got a much larger surface area, which will actually reduce the flow per hole a little bit, hopefully, and create less of a suction effect, sucking debris into the holes and plugging things up. Anyways, sounds good on paper. But anyways, I got that wired together, and I'm going to be lowering that down into the pool from the shallow inside. Previously I was over by the diving board and I had my intake hose just kind of hanging down there, and the higher you get from the water source, the more difficult it is for the pump to keep up with good volume. So I'm actually going to go down into the shallow end, sit the trash pump down in the shallow end here, and then I'll slowly start feeding the intake hose down into the deep end. And doing it slowly, that'll keep the water from going over top of the bucket, and then allow the pump to gradually suck down to the very bottom of the deep end, where hopefully we're going to find that main drain, get it cleaned off, get it opened up, and keep this pool drained out. You can see I've still got some shovel work to do, so while the pump is doing its thing, I'll get the wheelbarrow back over here and the muck shovel and start shoveling the rest of that stuff out. So that's the plan for early this afternoon. Amber and the boys will be back down here in a little bit, and they're going to get back to work on the patio over next to the house, start pulling some more of those bricks up, setting them up and getting them ready to go. Then I'll come through with the tractor and the brick tongs to load them up and haul them off, and we'll slowly start working our way across. But we wanted to get the pool finished up before we pull this section of patio up. The issue here is that once the patio is gone, then there's nothing but sand and clay and dirt to try to move around on, so it will quickly turn into a mud pit. So we're going to leave this section of patio for now until we can get over here and get all this stuff finished. So we'll keep focusing on this section of patio over by the house, over towards the fence, and on this side of the pool till we can get the rest of the pool taken care of. The plan after I get the last of the muck out of here and get the main drain open is to get my pressure washer down here, hook up a temporary water hookup on the side of the house here, and use the pressure washer to wash down the walls and the floor of the pool so we can really get all of it exposed, find out exactly what we're dealing with, and what the next step is as far as getting the pool restored. As I mentioned before, the house project is taking longer than we had hoped, so we're not anticipating being to the house until late fall, early winter, as much as that frustrates us. But we're hoping to at least have the pool open and be able to use the pool and the patio area down here this summer with the boys. So that's the plan. We got a couple of pool contractors we're getting estimates from. So the sooner I can get this pool pumped out, cleaned out, and exposed for the pool contractor to come in and inspect, the sooner we can get some firm estimates back on getting the work done, and the sooner we can get that work underway. So excited about that. Hang out with us today, and let's see what we can get accomplished.
I'll go check. We just got started pumping out the pool. I'm going to go check and see how the water's doing. Over here. Oh yeah, it's coming out. So this isn't the ideal, but you actually need a lot more hose. Oh, and I don't want to. We'll let that go. We'll see what happens. Most of that is leaf matter that is going through. There's a drain down there at the bottom, so we should be good. Go back in and Chris must have turned it down just a little bit. Let's take a look at it over the pool. Alright, so that's what we're dealing with. Trying to get the rest of that water out. It's kind of filled up in the last couple of weeks. All the rainwater. As you can see, it is, our tulip tree is just starting to bud out. It's really a pretty tree. So what you doing, babe?
What?
I said, why did you decide to take a break?
Well, the volume is so high then with the pump down low like this that it was actually pumping faster than the holes would let it in. And so I was having to keep the top edge of the bucket under the water to feed it enough to keep it from stalling out. So I'm drilling some more holes in there, hopefully get better flow.
Okay.
Deeper it gets, the more sludge you get. So
yeah.
I'm gonna have to start cleaning it out if I don't get better flow here.
Did you explain to the viewers why you put that bucket?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we talked about that in the opening segment.
All right. Hey everyone, I've been over here. I wanted you to see what I'm doing because I am here and I am actually working today. I've got behind me a shovel and the wheelbarrow, and I've been shoveling all the dirt off of the brick so that we can get that section picked up next. But I wanted you to see Chris's creative side. So we're having trouble in the deep end of the pool because all of the muck and the debris have all settled down in there. So we're getting close to the bottom, and anyways, you just got to check this out. He's actually sitting on the ladder down in the pool trying to hold the strainer basket so that it doesn't get clogged. So I think this might be one of his most creative inventions yet. Our goal for the day is to get all of that out of there and then start shoveling the rest of the muck out. Lots of fun work ahead. So close to the end. Chris was happy. He'll be even happier when he has to get all that stuff out of there. All the leaves and sludge.
So I finally got the pool pump down low enough that I can actually stand in here. I've got my muck boots on, and I've got about 12 inches of boot above the water line, so I'm in pretty good shape. I've been down here pitchforking all the solids I can get my hands on, the old leaves and branches and everything that's down at the bottom of the pool, pitchforking that stuff up to the shallow end, and then I'll load it into the wheelbarrow from the shallow end with a shovel. Very labor intensive, but really no other way to get this stuff out of here. Maybe I could rent a conveyor belt from Sunbelt or something, but this stuff is heavy, it's wet, so I'm going to throw it up onto the shallow end and kind of let it drain out. The water will drain back towards the deep end, and then tomorrow or the next day I'll be able to come down here and shovel it up into the wheelbarrow. So let me show you where I'm at right now. So I'm about I don't know, halfway up my shin here in this stuff. I'd hesitate to call it water, and you can see the pool, and then you can see all the debris here that's laying on top of the pool. So I've just been using my trusty pitchfork and heaving it up onto the shallow end there in a big pile on both sides of the ladder. This is an old ladder that we found here at the property. It's got a kink in it, so I wouldn't trust it for climbing on the side of the house, but it's worked pretty good as a scaffold to get back and forth into the pool here. So this is not the most pleasant job in the world, but I just keep telling myself it's all going to be worth it this summer, sitting beside the pool here, sipping on a drink and watching the kids play. So I just keep having that vision in my mind, trying to block out the horrible smell from my nose, and just trying to visualize, you know, how great it's going to be this summer. It's kind of like shoveling baby poo with a fork. That's about the consistency of this stuff. So use your imagination there. It's lovely. So I'm going to get back to work here, try to get some more of this shoveled up out of here or forked up out of here before it gets dark. Well, that about does it for this episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. I've been down in the pool for the last couple of hours, shoveling, forking sludge out of the bottom of the deep end. I worked most of the day with the pump and pumped the water back down. It had risen a couple of feet due to the recent rain, so I had to pump all that out, and then finally pumped it down to about 4 or 5 inches within the bottom. That's as close as I could get with the big 2-inch trash pump. So once I got down to that point, used an old aluminum ladder to get down in there, used my pitchfork, and just started forking that stuff out of there up onto the shallow end of the pool. Let me show you where we're at. Here you can see these massive piles of dead leaves and twigs and pine straw, rotten, decaying, vegetated matter. I mean, just all sorts of nastiness. And it all came out of that hole. Getting pretty good down there. It's, you know, there's still some areas of sludge in the bottom there. I'm going to have to shovel out of there, but I got a lot of that stuff out of there today, so it's looking a whole lot better. Now it's just got to get shoveled out of the shallow end into a wheelbarrow and then rolled out of here. That's no easy task either, but you know, I mean, again, it's really the only way to get that thing cleaned out. There's no way to get, you know, equipment down in there, and you can't pump it out or anything else. So just got to do it the hard way. Sometimes you got to do that, but at any rate, I can see the light at the end of the tunnel, making some good progress on that. Amber spent most of her time down here today cleaning off the brick patio, getting ready for the next round of brick picking. We're picking those brick up 4 at a time, load them up in the loader, haul them down to the end of the property, and dumping them off for future use. And that's going pretty well. You know, we got to work our way around the pool so we can get our pool contractor in here, start getting the plumbing updated for the pool, make a couple of changes and some additions, and get that thing up to snuff for summertime. So very productive afternoon, very happy with everything we've gotten accomplished here. Looking forward to coming back down tomorrow and knocking some more of this out. Appreciate you guys hanging out with us for this episode of Woodmere Estate Revival. Please be sure to hit that subscription button so you don't miss a single episode. Hit the like button as well, and share the episode and the channel with your friends and family if you like what we're doing here. We're having a good time sharing it, and it's a long adventure. We've got months ahead of us, so stay tuned for lots more to come.